I would be happy if you subscribe to my channel in return for my effort. The 180th episode of KURULUS OSMAN sets the stage for a tense and compelling journey as Osman Bey continues to outsmart his enemies, all while his Nökers track his every move. The series has always emphasized the importance of strategic thinking, both in battle and in the realm of diplomacy, and this upcoming episode will likely dig deeper into these themes. As we know, Osman Bey's rise to power is not without its enemies, and his leadership is constantly challenged. With the Nökers following his trail, one might wonder, what does this mean for Osman's position? Are these pursuers an external threat, or do they reflect an internal betrayal waiting to surface? What will Osman do next to maintain his grip on power and continue expanding his influence? The scene is set with Osman Bey facing opposition from within his own rank, and while it is clear that the Nökers are dedicated to their leader, their presence indicates more than simple loyalty. Could this trail following motif point to a deeper conspiracy? Could some of Osman's closest allies be working against him, feeding information to his enemies? The upcoming episode may provide further clues as to who these mysterious figures are and how their actions could reshape the future of Osman Bey's reign. It is crucial to remember that KURULUS Osman never portrays things as black and white. Throughout the series, there have been instances where allies become adversaries and foes unexpectedly become allies. In this context, it will be interesting to see how the Nökers' loyalty is tested. What do they think of Osman's decision? Are they questioning his leadership? Perhaps their following of his trail is not only literal but metaphorical. Could they be following him on a path of moral questioning or conflict? A deeper look at Osman's strategy. We know that Osman Bey is a master strategist, able to outwit his opponent with his sharp mind and impeccable instinct. However, his constant state of vigilance comes at a cost. What toll does this pursuit take on him mentally, emotionally, and physically? How does he maintain his focus amid such pressure? The Nökers' presence and their unwavering loyalty may symbolize the constant watch over Osman's action, a reminder that he is always under surveillance, whether by enemies or those who wish to manipulate him. However, this could also indicate Osman's growing isolation. As his empire grows, does he risk losing his ability to trust those closest to him? Will the burden of leadership drive him to make decisions that could isolate him further from his allies? I would be happy if you subscribe to my channel in return for my effort. As the Nökers relentlessly follow Osman's trail, tensions between his allies and enemies are expected to escalate in the 180th episode. KURULUS Osman has never been short of intense character dynamics, with shifting allegiances and betrayals becoming key plot points. The question that arises here is, how will Osman handle the growing pressures from both within and outside his circle? With every move Osman makes, enemies are closing in. But it's not just external threats that will make things complicated for Osman in the upcoming episode. Some of his closest allies, such as Beyhoka, Turgut Bey, and Bomsi, have witnessed the precarious nature of loyalty and trust in this battle for control. With the increasing complexity of political dynamics, Osman's decision-making becomes more critical than ever. Could his internal circle begin to question his judgment or even his leadership style? One pivotal aspect to watch in the next episode is the potential unraveling of Osman's trusted inner circle. These men have been with Osman from the beginning, but their loyalty has been tested before. Beyhoka, for example, has always been somewhat of an enigma. His conflicting allegiances and internal struggles could make him a wild card in the unfolding drama. Will he remain loyal, or could he take advantage of the current situation to seize more power for himself? And then there is Turgut Bey, whose fierce loyalty to Osman has always been a cornerstone of the series. Yet, with the growing threats and the mounting pressure on Osman to succeed, will Turgut remain steadfast in his commitment, or might we see cracked in his unwavering loyalty? As we dive deeper into the storyline, these characters' motivations become increasingly complicated. Could we see Beyhoka and Turgut clash over Osman's decisions? And how will Osman manage these tensions without further alienating his closest ally? A deeper look at the evolution of Osman's relationship. What is most intriguing about KURULUS Osman is its ability to show the evolution of relationship between characters. Initially, characters like Bomsi, Turgut, and even the sly Beyhoka were loyal to Osman without question. But the further Osman ascends, the more his decisions begin to challenge the status quo. The question arises, can the bonds of brotherhood survive this pressure, or will they crumble in the face of political ambition? We've already seen hints of this tension in earlier episodes. For example, Osman's reluctance to make certain alliances and his struggle with trust have caused friction. In future episodes, as Osman begins to deal with more profound political maneuvers, how will his allies interpret his decision? Will they become disillusioned with his choices? Could this result in a new conflict where Osman finds himself himself fighting not just against external enemies, but also the very people who helped him rise. The role of leadership is an essential theme here. As Osman navigates the treacherous path to power, he faces the dilemma of balancing loyalty and ambition. How can he ensure that his closest allies remain committed, while simultaneously making the tough choices necessary for the growth of his empire? I would be happy if you subscribe to my channel in return for my effort. As Osman Bey's internal challenges begin to mount, the 180th episode will also likely highlight the growing influence of external forces. Kuruluş Osman excels in portraying the complexities of politics, where even distant powers can change the course of events. The rise of rival empires, particularly the Byzantines and the Mongols, sets the stage for a turbulent future in the upcoming episode. One critical aspect to consider is the role of the Byzantine Empire in this episode. Throughout the series, we've seen the constant political tug-of-war between the Seljuk, Byzantines, and Osman's growing power. The Byzantines, under the leadership of Alexios, have repeatedly underestimated Osman's ability to overcome the odds. However, with each victory and every expansion of Osman's territory, the Byzantine Empire finds itself increasingly threatened. Could this episode set the stage for a more direct confrontation between Osman and the Byzantines? We already know that Osman has had skirmishes and indirect confrontations with the Byzantine forces, but a direct clash might be inevitable. What could this mean for Osman's strategic decision? Is he prepared for the diplomatic fallout, or will the war continue to escalate? Moreover, the Mongols, who have played a shadowy role in Kuruluş Osman, could finally show their full hand in this episode. While the Mongols have been a constant menace to the Turkic tribes and surrounding regions, their involvement in Osman's journey could become more pronounced. Could we see the Mongol threat escalate into full-scale conflict, or might their influence be more subtle, lurking in the background and pulling strings from afar? As external powers converge on Osman's rapidly growing empire, the need for strong alliances and calculated moves becomes ever more pressing. Osman may find himself surrounded by adversaries on all sides, both visible and hidden. In this climate, can Osman continue to balance his leadership at home while fending off these formidable foes from abroad? The way he handles these external pressures will likely define his leadership going forward. A deeper look at the diplomatic struggles ahead. One of the more fascinating aspects of Kuruluş Osman is its portrayal of diplomacy as a double-edged sword. Osman's ability to negotiate, form alliances, and outsmart enemies through subtle political maneuvering has been just as important to his rise as his military prowess. But with the external forces tightening their grip, Osman may soon have to make difficult choices regarding which alliances to pursue and which to abandon. In this episode, the growing influence of external powers may force Osman to rethink his strategy. Could we see him forced into a corner, where his previous alliances, such as with the Seljuk, are no longer tenable? The political landscape is changing rapidly, and Osman may need to act quickly to prevent his enemies from capitalizing on any perceived weakness. Moreover, the presence of the Mongols and Byzantines could force Osman into a series of complicated negotiations. The question becomes, will he continue to outsmart these forces through tactical diplomacy, or will he be forced into an all-out war to secure his empire's future? I would be happy if you subscribe to my channel in return for my effort.